4, discuss and take appropriate action on ratifying an agreement for rental of travel trailers with the RV rentals.
Can we discuss why did we choose travel trailer? Judge, I think you ran with this.
We certainly can have Chief Keneally speak to it, or our head of emergency management. The intent of the travel trailers was and is, as the virus continues to spread, we just wanted to assure that the 8 or 9 essential folks for county government operations had a secured area, not only to stay, but an area that would secure them from potentially getting sick. And that was the intent. I don't believe our intent, unless we're directed differently by the medical staff, is to go beyond the 30-day lease agreement.
Okay, so 30 days is what you think, because the contract had 2 months, but they billed for the first month. And those are set up at the ESSC?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Okay, is there a motion on item number 4?
I so move the adoption of item number 4.
Okay, there's a motion on item number 4. Is there a second?
So we have already, Judge, just to clarify, we've already leased these, and this cost is for the 1 month. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And Ms. Kiley informed me, and she certainly can speak to this, but that we have a set date that we can call them to come pick them up.
Right. Okay, so it's $47.54 a day per trailer with add-on stuff, it looks like. So the cost isn't exorbitant.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, Commissioner Cook?
When I added up the cost divided by 8 for the bringing them and setting them up and the fees that you pay, it was a cost of $37.54 a day. You know, other organizations are using hotels.
So, Commissioner Cook, just so we can stick with Robert's rules, is that a second so we can continue discussing this motion?
Okay, I'll second.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
So when I looked at it, I went, okay, that's probably pretty decent because municipalities and stuff were getting hotel spaces, which help the hotels.
Right.
The positive thing at the hotel is they do your linens, but you don't have a kitchen. So I don't know if they need kitchens or not. I don't know if they care about cooking anything. So it wasn't exorbitant when you start looking at a per day cost of housing. If you feel it's necessary, those people get housed at the ESOC.
So I've looked at this and I have similar thoughts as to item 5 as well. I have asked our staff at the EOC what the plan is. You know, something has to be driving our spending. There has to be something, you know, other than I've got a feeling or I watch the news that drives our spending. There has to be a model. There has to be something. And I don't know that I've gotten a really good answer to how and why. I mean, I see it. I mean, I know the coronavirus is out there, but I just don't know that I've got enough information. And I've got a feeling I don't think I'm ready to approve this item. I've got to understand more, and I've got to understand what is driving our spending. There has to be something. I need something more than it feels good or it looks right.
I realize we're under emergency conditions and the judge has the right to sign off on stuff, but I feel like maybe we need each week, 9:00 Friday mornings, to really look at now what's on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, for other organizations are using hotels. that we need to address, because this is a lot of money we're going through.
Yes. So could I speak to both of those? I agree with you, Commissioner Cook, and there are some initial things that are expensive, like the refrigerating storage and the RVs. And our intent is going forward, that to my knowledge, other than these items that were, maybe 15 days ago, I'm trying to remember the time frame. The intent going forward is on next week's agenda to begin to place things on the agenda that we see on the horizon, not necessarily just expenses, but hypothetically, and I think I can do this. We've received about $1.3 million, and next week I want to place on the agenda. Well, let me say it differently. We haven't received $1.3 million. There's $1.3 million available in federal aid, but I want to place that on the agenda so the commissioners can discuss that and figure out how we go out and recoup that money. But that's, to your point, the plan going forward on expenses is to better communicate.
Okay.
All right, so are there any more comments on item number 4?
Let me just say that I appreciate the concern for our folks. And, we had a whole lot of people in our ESOC originally, because I think at the beginning, it was set up like a typical emergency issue, a flood, a tornado, etc., where everybody comes into the same buildings. This being so unique and contagious, it was then thought, well, we need to rethink this. So then we sent people out to their offices, to their homes in various aspects to continue working, but not being in the same building, which was the right thing to do. Having folks stay there, in the back and be there may or may not have been the right idea or necessary. And I'm really glad for those that had the opportunity to go home and even over this past weekend, because I think it really helps you have a good perspective on what's happening. And it's just healthier, I think, mentally, to be able to see your family, your home, and be there. My understanding is that these costs have already been spent. I mean, this is already, the trailers are there. We've rented them for a month. This is the cost of that. And Judge, I think that you said that, we've got a date ended here. And I think that those trailers need to go be where, to be returned. If that's accurate, I can support this because we've already spent it. But I think that we do need to have, the court does need to have a say in stuff and spending before we go spend it. And it's a complicated thing because it's happening so rapidly and you're trying to make good decisions to save people's lives and to keep people healthy. So there's that balance. So thank you for the explanation. And
so Commissioner Covey, are you asking, if I hear you correctly, a friendly amendment that says that this item would be basically immediately canceled? It's only for 1 month and not the 2 of the contract period?
I would, yes, and I don't know what position that puts us in because of the agreement, but I would like it to be just the 1 month. And Judge, is that not accurate to what your intent was?
Yes, ma'am, but Ms. Kiley can speak to that specific date. I think it's written into the agreement that we have to notify them by a certain date that we plan to terminate the agreement after 1 month. But Ms. Kiley can speak to that.
Judge, Commissioners, this is Julie Kiley. We have to notify April 27th in order for them to be picked up by May 3rd. So if that is the desire of the court, Randy Barker and I will work to give that vendor notice.
What if we notified them today to pick them up as soon as possible? Is that not a possibility, Julie?
We will notify them today if that's the action they'll take, but that will not lessen the amount that we're charged. We're charged by the 30-day period, and so we will owe for that 30-day period.
Okay.
So
Is anyone in them today? Is anyone in them? Is anyone staying in the trailers today?
Commissioner, what I would say is for security reasons,
Don't want to say.
yeah.
But 2 people are there, 5 people are there.
I can tell you this, that every day they're used, because there's sometimes during the day that folks may go out there and have a
Sleep.
bit of a private office.
Ms. Kylie, when were those contracts executed?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowles, hold on, let me see if I can tell. Randy, are you also on this call?
Randy,
So
you
it
need
looks
to
like
unmute
this-
if you-
The start date, according to the spreadsheet that we built to track these items, shows April the 3rd, Commissioner.
Okay.
All right, so if I understand, there's, Judge, I think you made the motion, Commissioner Cook, you seconded it, but there was a request for a friendly amendment that we
Okay with that.
immediately notify the vendor and we're assuming we've got to pay the full month. So if that friendly amendment was to have them picked up by April 30th, that would coincide with our order. Is that a friendly amendment to the Judge Correll? Is that a friendly amendment?
Perfect.
Commissioner Cook?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
So the motion is for approval of item number 4 in the amount of $18,340, but a notice of termination and to have them picked up by April 30th. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that there are 4 in favor and Commissioner Bowles is against that motion. Item number